It's Rick with a recap for Monday, November the 7th. Haven't done a video for 3 or 4 days now because there really hasn't been much happening. We're stuck in no man's land. S&P is the model's improved slightly, but the QQQ model has gotten worse. So on balance, it's still not looking terrific. Getting to the You can see here we're just in this S&P, we're just still in the chop zone here in no man's land. Doesn't know whether it wants to go down, it doesn't know whether it wants to go up. So we just sit and wait and see what direction it wants to take. Not much difference with the small caps. Same picture pretty much. The Qs really look like they want to go down, although they had a positive day today, up 1%. That we're still very, very close to these yearly lows. So it's not looking promising. It's being held back by the big ones like the Apple, Microsoft, Google are down lots. The Dow has been showing strength. It's the strongest of the bunch. It's back over its 200-day moving average, although the moving average is still declining, which is never a good sign. We want them to be in an uptrend. But when you flip over to the weekly, it still, to me, looks very ominous. If this trend line I drew here connects the highs since the beginning of the year, since January. And then this one connects the lows. So we're right at the top of this downtrend channel. So we're either going to break through, but it's not going to do it on its own. It needs the spiders and the Qs to follow along, but that could happen. Or more likely, this rolls over and comes back down. Whether or not we test the bottom of the channel is another matter. But I'm sort of leaning in the camp of, there's any weakness here, I'll be shorting the Dow. Because if you look at the spiders on a weekly basis, we didn't get all the way up to this channel, and it started to potentially roll over here or continue this move up. So if the spiders drop down, there's a good chance it is going to test this bottom downtrend line. So not great. I've had actually a pretty good week. I've got some really good positions. I have 5 open positions, and you can see from the green up here that they're all performing quite nicely, but I won't bore you with the details of those. I will do a quick look at looking at longer term for 2023 and what's possible and what's likely. I think what we're all hoping for is we're here now, and we just go straight up like this. And that would be a wonderful environment to have. So reminiscent of these days here, where this is really easy to make money. So if this indeed happens, this moving average will turn up. All these moving averages will turn up, and it will be an easy environment to make money, what Minervini calls an easy dollar environment. But even at that, that's a fairly, 45-degree angle slope is what you want to see. But even at that, to get back to break even where you were for the buy and hold investors, where they were in January of the beginning of this year, January 22, this would take until November, December of next year just to get back to even. So that's one scenario. The second scenario, I think, let's say we don't go down. We come back up here and we test this moving average, and then it falls back down again. But let's say it doesn't come all the way back down, it holds, and then comes back up here, maybe test it again, poke its nose through again. Oops, that fails. Comes back down, but didn't come back down to the previous low. And then breaks out. It's likely to have a retest and then a move higher. So, oops. So this scenario suggests that we're going to get into stage one. This is, let's just expand this a bit. We want to be, this is a stage 2 uptrend. This is stage 3 distribution. And this is the markdown phase, stage 4. And we only want to be invested in stage 2 uptrends. We avoid these, and we even avoid the stage 1s because they're generally not going anywhere. So it's going to be, with this scenario at least, it's going to be this moving average will come down and start to curl up, and maybe start to curl up here and be in a stage 2 somewhere around June, July of next year, in which case it'll become much more an easy dollar environment. So to me, that's the most probable, but again, we just play it day by day, week by week, and stay invested accordingly. When things are not right, we're either in cash or very lightly invested, 25%, maybe as much as 50%. And it's not until we get into this kind of environment or this kind of environment that we'll get 100% invested. Of course, what we want to protect ourselves against is this nonsense. You know, we get something like this. That's where all of us that are in cash, it really doesn't matter. But if any of you are having still got sizable investments in RSPs or TFSAs or other investments with a buy and hold kind of mentality, just be prepared for this kind of stuff. And in some other video, I guess, or if anybody's interested, there are some good strategies. Even if you can't sell or won't sell, there is some strategies that can mitigate the damage on this way down, if indeed this happens. So don't know where we're going to go. Those are sort of 3 scenarios that are entirely possible, or a derivative of all of any of those. So one thing that's giving me a little encouragement, so I get this out of the way here, is when I look at the sectors, a lot of the sectors are looking to be putting in a stage 1 base. So they seem to be bottoming out. They're still well below the 200, but they're putting in a bit of a base. As I just flick through these, well, not that one. Gold miners, yeah, it's putting in a base. Gold itself putting in a bit of a base, but we still have to put this in context. This is still very much in a stage 4 decline. Clean energy, very sloppy. Software, still pretty sloppy, still in a downtrend. Some of these, but there's a number of them that are, here's one, IWO, the Russell 2000 growth is starting to put in a bit of a base. So this gives me some hope that we're going to get a turnaround here in the next little while. It's going to take a while for these to base out and then for this average to start turning up. But the sectors have to start turning up before the whole index does. So there's a ray of hope here. I'm always trying to be an optimist. So that's it for tonight. Very short and sweet. Fortunately, touch wood. My positions are doing really well. I'm up a couple of percent from in the last 2 weeks. So it's kind of a market. I'll take it, and hope for a better environment. Okay, that's it. Cheers, everyone.